Are horror movies vegan?
This is a world premiere. This is a world.
Hey, Reg here, and welcome to another Happy It's Friday update. I got a lot of things to catch you guys up on, so check it out. So the first thing, I'm really excited because I'm going to be the lead organizer for the local planning team of the 2017 Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed Conference, which will be taking place here in Detroit at Cass Commons. The dates for the conference are June 2nd through June 4th, but there will be some pre-conference activities from May 30th through June 1st. Julian Boal, whose father founded the Theater of the Oppressed, will be offering a 3-day workshop prior to the conference. Theater of the Oppressed, also known as TO, is a theatrical framework based on the principles of popular education. I've been a TO practitioner since 2007, so this conference actually marks my 10-year anniversary as a practitioner of Theater of the Oppressed. I'll be including updates on the channel, so look out for those, and also look out for some videos explaining Theater of the Oppressed and popular education as it is outlined in Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Last week we also kicked off a gymnasium for actors and non-actors called Arsenal for the Theater of the Oppressed, where participants can learn techniques for developing political theater for social transformation. Are horror movies vegan? And I'm not simply talking about like whether or not animals are used in the making of a film. That happens across films of all genres. But my question is there something about horror movies that might be making us less inclined to think along our own principles as vegans? The reason I'm bringing this up is because last night, me and Ethan were watching a movie that was directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Quentin Tarantino called From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, Quentin Tarantino's films tend to be very, very violent, and that might be something to just simply fold into this conversation. But I particularly am a fan of horror films. I just love to be scared. So I did a little bit of research just to find out whether or not horror movies were indeed bad for you or good for you. I found a website, and I'll include a link to it in the description box below, with an article outlining 5 ways that horror films can affect you. 1, it can be harmful to your health. Adrenaline junkies having your heart rate and your blood pressure raised by watching horror films can put you at risk of a heart attack. Who knew? So horror movies can be harmful to your health, but science has also shown that horror movies can be good for your health, and that really depends on how you react to them. If you're someone who finds them funny or ridiculous, it is shown that laughter can actually have the same effect on your cardiovascular system as exercise. So maybe instead of running 10 miles next Tuesday, me and Ethan should just watch another horror movie that makes us laugh. They can make you more creative. Now, this isn't necessarily true for adults, but apparently children who watch fantasy films like Harry Potter and other things like that have scored higher on creativity in tests. So apparently if you have the mentality of a child and you have a problem that you're trying to solve, pop in a horror film and you might actually do a little bit better at figuring things out. I don't know. They can control your thoughts. Apparently there was a study where people were shown 3 different films. One of them was a horror film, one of them was a Western, and one of them was a comedy. And it appears that in 65% of cases, people's brains reacted the same way watching the horror film. While watching the comedy, they only reacted the same way about 18% of the time. Do you think this could affect the elections? They can make you more aggressive. This is the one that I was hoping was not going to be true, but studies have shown that watching violence can make you more aggressive, even if those effects are only short term. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think horror movies are vegan? Do you think that horror movies are bad for us? Just weigh in. Do you like horror movies? I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you think about horror movies in general. So tomorrow I am going to be kicking off a crowdfunding campaign. Please check in tomorrow when I'll be doing a walkthrough of AltSpace to show you some of the areas that I'm going to be raising funds to deal with here at AltSpace. Finally, I'm going to be including a link to the Van Jones video that I talked about in my last Hump Day rant so that we can use it as the launching point for our discussion for the Sunday live stream. Check for that and other information in the description box below. That's it for this video. Like it if you like it, share, comment, subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourself. Peace.